We are live today on this YouTube session on essay writing. So, following our motto, let's crack it. And today we are going to talk about essay writing and its decoding, how to go about it. And it is considered one of the most important, one of the most difficult topics of IELTS. Okay, so we are going to talk about it, and you may write in your comments. You can ask your doubts related to it. Okay, and so here we begin. Well, my name is Astha, and I'm an educator at Unacademy. And before we start with, decoding essay writing, we must, understand. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to share that I'm launching I've launched a new course, which is a 5 days intensive grammar course, and we are already done with two classes. But then the major ones, tenses, adjectives, adverbs, idioms, active passive voice. It will, extend till 14 January. And then on 14, we have doubt clearing session. So if you join an academy using code ASTHA, ASTHA, you also will 10% discount. So you can grab this opportunity, okay, and you can attend this course. So now, when asked to IELTS aspirants, okay, which is the most difficult task out of the two writing tasks asked in IELTS academic and general training writing test, most of them answer was essay writing. Yes, because it's one of the most elaborate tasks because you have to write in good 250 words. I personally advise my students every time to have a practice of writing in, say, 270 or at times 300 words. Reason being, if they have the practice of writing more, they can never be, short of words when they're writing the essays, okay? But if you're already, practicing with 250, exact 250 words or 251, 252 words, then sometimes you might feel short of words depending on the situation. So you must always know how to elaborate and how to deduct the word limit, words according to the word limit, okay? Now, the task one we all know is the letter writing for IELTS, general training, and report writing for IELTS academic. Is by me, is easy by no means. But task two, that is essay writing, is more challenging. Why? Because it requires you to write an essay on a given topic. I just now said 250 words, and it is time bound. So that is one scary aspect. You have limited time. So you have 40 minutes to present the given topic skillfully in your own words and obviously without any mistakes. Right. Now, you can be asked different types of essays in IELTS writing tasks too. What are those different tasks? I had just taken a course on writing module wherein I discussed all these essays on Unacademy Plus classes, and I will be launching a new course in February, when in which I'll take all these essays again. So you can subscribe using my code, and yes, obviously, I will take charge that you understand all these kinds of essays properly. Okay. So when we are talking about opinion essay, argumentative essay, advantages and disadvantages essay, problem and solution essay, or mixed essay, every essay has one motive, it has a proper format, it has a proper structure. Okay, we know the general structure that it should have a proper beginning, proper middle, and proper end. That's one common basic structure, right? But then each essay has different kinds of questions and issues which are being talked about and which we all must keep in mind, must practice so as to understand them, so as to know how to crack them. And yes, when we read and practice these kinds of essays, the most important aspect is to identify which type of essay has been asked. Because you never get a topic like this is one opinion essay which is being given to you. No, you have to identify the type and write your response accordingly. So, and it is only possible when you have practiced a lot, okay? In that case, you are expected to use your skills, your experience, and examples while answering. Now, the next one. How is your essay scored? Well, your essay is scored on the basis of your task response. Okay? Then, what is task response? Task response means how are you responding to your task? Okay? What, like, are you addressing the question? Have you addressed the question? Have you answered it proficiently or not? Then, second, you have coherence and cohesion. How logically connected your essay is, how logically connected your ideas are, okay? And is it like a proper, does it have a proper beginning, a middle, and an end, or is it just haywire, collection of the points? Because remember, the examiner is not interested in reading out the pointers you're writing. So never just write all the bullet points which come to your mind. You have to be selective. Again, it depends on the kind of essay which you are writing. Okay? Then lexical resource, your language, your proficiency, your expression. Now, some students ask, ma'am, how can expression be an important role in writing? Because expression, looks like, feels like, as if you are using your gestures or your facial expression. But, my dear students, expression also means your writing expression, the language which you are using, the vocabulary which you are using, okay? How rich your vocabulary is, how many kinds of synonyms you can use for a particular word. That is also very important. If you keep on repeating one word continuously, suppose you're talking about a topic and you need to repeat that word, you must know some adjectives, some synonyms of it so as to make it more beautiful. You have to beautify your essay also. Then we talk about grammatical range and accuracy. Yes, your grammar, your, how perfect, how accurate grammar you're using. What is the choice of tenses you're using? Which tense has your question been written in? Okay, and you have to answer according to that. So each of these criteria contribute 25% of the total writing score. So it means you have to be careful for all the four aspects. Now, what are the quick tips for writing a better score, for getting a better score in essay writing? Okay, I'm waiting for some messages, chats, and doubts. Okay. So, understand what the question specifies. It is essential to pay attention to all the issues mentioned in the question. First, look at the question carefully, then identify the question type. Whether it's a discussion, an opinion, which means a viewpoint, is it a solution to the problem, or is it a combination? Okay, now for example, I'll just take a random example. There is one question which talks about, let's say, mobile phones. Okay, I just take any topic right now which comes to my mind, and that's the mobile phones. So if I'm talking about, the question says supposedly, what are the advantages and disadvantages of mobile phones for a teenager? Okay, specific age group is given, teenager, mobile phone, and what are the advantages and disadvantages. And the question says discuss. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. Now, In that case, you are giving a proper beginning, you are devoting one paragraph to advantages, one to disadvantages, and then you are concluding. Remember, the question says discuss. The question nowhere says or asks you to take a side. Okay? The question does not ask for your opinion on it. You have to be quite objective in that case. And you are like a balance, a way balance. You're presenting both the positives and the negatives on the platter, both the advantages and disadvantages on the platter for the person to understand, read, or gauge, or infer the meaning as per her or his own context. Okay? But if the question says, there are so many advantages and disadvantages of mobile phones for teenagers. Okay? Which do you think goes higher above the other, or discuss whether the advantages outweigh the disadvantages or vice versa, or which outweighs the other? This is the way a question can be framed, okay? In that case, you are discussing again advantages, disadvantages, but you are taking a side. You are presenting your opinion. Now, one quick tip I would like to give you in this case is, which you can somehow apply in some of the other essays also. It's a very common thing. If you are taking side, for example, you have to show your biased opinion. You have to show your inclination towards that topic. Yes, towards that issue. So if you are talking about advantages and disadvantages, your essay should be completely biased towards that one viewpoint which you are holding. For example, I suppose want to answer this question that for teenagers, mobile phone is very important. They can study, they can learn, they can browse, they can learn through internet, they can use phones to study online through online mode, and there are so many other aspects which are very important, and one needs to keep oneself updated in this growing technological era, this globalized world. So therefore I personally feel that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, right? They are more. And yes, I will also talk about disadvantages, wherein I will say that the teenagers might get distracted, they might get into a wrong company, or they might end up wasting a lot of their times. Now, the trick is, if you want to take side, if you want to go with advantages, always start your essay with the opposite viewpoint. Okay? Opposite. You start with introduction, you write disadvantage first. But remember, since you have to examiner, or you want to present that you are with the motion, you are going with the topic, you are in favor of the topic, you are going to present just one disadvantage. Remember the times when you used to convince your parents about something in which they were telling the negative sides, and you said, but no, there are positive sides also to a particular thing, whether it was a gadget or some trip you wanted to go to. Similar strategies to be used here. You talk about the disadvantage, just one or maximum two, and then you just end it up. But then you start with advantages. You elaborate on advantages very nicely, because it's the only way you have to convince the person reading that yes, you believe in that topic. And then you conclude again by reinforcing what you have written in disadvantages, and again pointing a bit towards the disadvantages. Yes, though there is one so and so disadvantage, but there are so many advantages of it, and therefore I feel that teenagers should be allowed to use mobile phones, or should be given for say limited time in that case, and then you conclude. So what is happening? your advantages and your conclusion together play a very convincing role in your essay. So this was just one example of advantage disadvantage essay, and how, if your opinion is also asked, how you have to mold that essay into a biased one. Because if your opinion is not asked, then you just need to discuss and present it on the platter. Because at that time, both are equal for you. You're not taking sides, right? Okay, identifying the main keywords. Now, the other tip is always identify what are the main keywords. Understand what the examiner is expecting in the essay. So, as we say keywords play a very, very important role, I think, in the whole examination of IELTS. When you are speaking, you have to train your mind to find keywords. When you're listening, you have to listen for the keywords so that as to answer the questions correctly. When you're reading, you need to understand the keywords so as to refer back to the page and answer the questions. And similarly, when you have a writing task, identify the keywords, the nouns, the adjectives, the verbs, which somehow convey the meaning, okay? And avoid writing on a general topic. You won't score more than a band 5 in that case. So you have to be very specific. You have to answer the question which is given. And that is what is task response all about. How you respond to the task. Okay? Next, map out your ideas. Now, before you begin writing, take a 5-minute break, brainstorm different ideas, take a pencil, jot down, create those web charts or those bubbles, what all issues come out. And then you need to select which ones you want to take in your essay and which ones you want to just ignore. You will take obviously the ones which outweigh the others, which you can justify and exemplify. Okay? So, though it will take a little time, but you will be able to, plan, organize your essay in a very, very nice manner. Okay? And then also paraphrase the questions. Don't just copy what is given. Paraphrasing is very important. Examiner wants to see how you're using different synonyms, how you're using active and passive voice, so as to write down those words. Now, be familiarized with the common topic. Yes, this is really, really important. Number one, widen your vocabulary so as to brainstorm more ideas. You must know what are the different words which are related to different aspects. Okay, if education is being talked about, what words are there which are related to education, technology, computers? So read papers, newspapers, so as to keep abreast with the latest vocabulary, current affair vocabulary. Okay, because IELTS is all about competency in the English language. The test aims to make its learners speak, read, listen, and write like natives. Okay, so it's not just testing your knowledge, it's how you presenting your answer with a clear thought process. Okay, and then we have ask yourself questions. Yes, ask yourself, and this is actually the lifestyle you have to cultivate while you're preparing for IELTS. Another way to prompt ideas is to ask yourself questions while reading the essay topic, like why, what happened, why did it happen, or what was reason, where did this happen, or who and how. So when you are asking these WH questions, you generate more ideas. Okay, you will be able to think more evidently, you create more ideas, you will help yourself in creating that web chart, and then as a result, if your web chart is created, you get more points, more sub points. So imagine it's cyclic. One thing leads to another, and second leads to the third, and third leads to the fourth. Okay, and now employ your personal opinion. Include your personal opinion because it's very effective way to write an enhanced essay. Okay? Imagine the topic of the essay is a question which is asked by your friend. You just, conveying it, convincing the other person to believe. But remember, this is only allowed when your opinion is being asked. And when there is no opinion is being asked, then obviously you will not write about it. Okay? And next, manage your time. It is very important to complete IELTS essay writing within 40 minutes. Okay? Start writing your essay with a proper strategy. 5 minutes to plan, 35, 36 minutes to write, and last few minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes to proofread. Proofreading is very, very important, students. Trust me, it will help you identify spelling and grammar mistakes, if any. Okay, so you can complete your task efficiently within stipulated time. Hi Shashank. Shashank, there is actually a little problem in my internet, I suppose, the connectivity. But I hope I am clear. Okay, so you can ask your doubts also. I just heard myself, it was clear. I know it's echoing, so I can imagine you're sitting in an auditorium and listening to me, right? And then take care of lexical resources. Lexical resources means you're using sufficient range of vocabulary. Okay, I just not told you how you can improve your vocabulary. What are the correct usage of spellings? Imagine you're writing a very nicely built essay. It has a proper structure, proper beginning, middle, end. You are catering to all aspects, but there are spelling errors. Oh my god, that's a big, big crime. So practice, give yourself dictations, listen to the words, write these spellings, and then check. Okay? Properly employ collocations in your essay. Like collocations means the natural combination of the words. For example, give up. Give and up, but give up means altogether different thing. Write down, switch on, note down, okay? And then word formations such as beautiful, beauty, beautify. So how one word transforms into so many other words. So these were some quick tips, students, and as I repeat, I am going on with my course on Unacademy Plus till 14th January, which is intensive grammar course. And tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'll be covering tenses, idioms, voices, okay, active and passive voice. So you can join Unacademy, you can use the code Aastha and also avail 10% discount. And it's only 2700. So if you subscribe using the code, the cost will be only 2430, and for 1 month you can listen to so many educators over there along with me and then ask live doubt. So I think it's mouth watering, lucrative offer you must grab. And if you subscribe for 3 months, then the cost is only 20 to 50. So what are you waiting for actually? See you again tomorrow for the YouTube session. Thank you so much and good night.